Hello, everybody, and I would like to thank my wonderful subscribers.
Hello, everybody, and today we are going to be watching Glee Shidori 2 Security Guard Horror Stories. So, yeah, security guards. They are like police officers for places that feel like they need police officers in them at all times. They're kind of like the miniature version, or like the what do you call it? The discount version of a police officer. They are in charge of defending a place. And they are also the main character of Five Nights at Freddy's, I think. I don't know. But yeah, let's see if the people in this video were mentally and physically equipped to be security guards, or if they should have picked a new day job. I don't know why I said all that. It was unnecessary. There we are. Shidori 1, Anonymous.
I've been with my company now for a good amount of time.
How long?
I'd say probably about 6 years now.
Damn, okay.
Thanks to the amount of time I've put in, I have seniority over the other associates.
Nice.
Not to mention, I have a lot more training and credentials under my belt than they do.
Okay, like what?
The company recently picked up a new contract for some kind of big government office building.
Oh, okay.
Where it's located is rather strange for it to be a government office building.
Where?
I won't get into exact locations, but to give you an idea of what the area
woods?
it's located in looks like, and what makes it so strange, is that it's located in damn near the middle of nowhere.
Oh.
It's a giant 6-story building surrounded by a giant parking lot.
Damn.
The parking lot is surrounded by a metal fence that's about 10 feet tall.
Nice.
On the top of the fence is barbed wire.
Yeah.
There's only one way in and one way out in front of the building at the opening of the parking lot that meets the side road that it's located off of.
What a building.
The side road is about 3 miles away from the main road, which leads to the highway.
Okay.
The fence is completely surrounded by woods. There are literally no buildings, houses, or any other signs of civilization for miles around. Due to my seniority, I get to work whatever shifts and days I want.
Damn.
Typically, I choose to work mornings or evenings, and have weekends or Fridays and Saturdays off.
Obviously,
but unfortunately, after a few months of us being at this new contract, we started having trouble keeping the overnight people.
Okay.
During the day, there's usually about 3 guards working all 7 days of the week.
Yeah.
On the overnight shift during the weekdays, there's 2 guards.
Yeah.
And on the overnight shift during the weekends, starting Friday to Sunday, there was only 1 guard.
Who?
I should mention, before I go any further, that every guard is armed on every shift.
Yeah, okay.
As I said, we're having trouble keeping people on the overnight shift. Mainly on the weekend overnight shift.
Well, yeah, who would want
because
that
of this,
job?
My supervisor asked me if I could help out until they could hire more people and work some overtime on the weekend overnight shifts.
Do it for the job, buddy.
And in hindsight, should have said no thanks. But at the time, I actually needed the extra money because I was getting ready to move to a new apartment soon.
Okay.
So I went ahead and accepted the extra shifts.
The
first couple of weeks were fine. No issues, nothing strange. But what happened on the 3rd weekend is what made me regret my decision for the overtime. It was a Saturday night around 2 a.m.
Okay,
there was a very bad thunderstorm going on outside.
Oh,
I was sitting in the camera control room, which is on the top floor.
Okay.
The control room has a window that oversees the back part of the parking lot.
Yeah.
In the room, there's 3 large-sized computer screens that show the CCTV live feeds from all the cameras located throughout the building.
Nice!
As well as a few cameras that are outside in the parking lot and by the entrance/exit of the parking lot. I was sitting in the control room doing what I normally was doing while working overnight by myself.
Checking the tab.
I had the lights off watching movies I previously downloaded on my phone.
Damn.
While also playing games on my Game Boy.
Damn!
I had been sitting down for a while and got up to stretch my legs and move around a bit. I was also starting to feel a little sleepy.
Oh no.
I was thinking about going down the hall to the vending machine and grabbing an energy drink.
Okay.
After I got up and walked around the control room for a bit, stretching my legs, I went over to the window, peeked through the blinds to look outside. As I was watching, I was looking at all the heavy wind and rain blowing the random debris around.
And you saw somebody?
I was just about to walk away from the window to grab that energy drink.
Oh, no.
When all of a sudden, a flash of lightning lit up the surrounding area past the fence.
Somebody.
And just then, I saw a figure dart from one tree to another that was a good distance from it. I'd say about 20 feet.
Damn.
I kept my position, looking in that direction through the blinds, waiting for another flash of lightning to see if I could see exactly what it was, or if my eyes were playing tricks on me. After a couple of seconds went by, another flash struck.
Damn, you ought to be lightning.
This time, I didn't see anything near or around the tree that I saw the figure move to. At that point, I thought clearly my eyes were playing tricks on me, and that it was just me being tired.
But yeah, your job.
I left from the window and went down the hall and got the energy drink. I immediately downed the whole thing, hoping that it would kick in soon. I was finished with it by the time it took me to walk back to the control room, which wasn't long.
Yeah, I heard that energy drinks don't actually give you more energy. They just the part of your brain that tells you that you're tired, energy drinks turn off that part of the brain. So, I don't know if I'm right, but here's what I think is a good example. If, let's say, the debate tells you that you're missing your payment, and they told you, energy drinks don't actually pay your bills. What they do is, they turn off your phone, so you don't hear that you're late on your bills. That's the best way I think I can explain it. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong, though, but I hear that's how it works. So, you don't actually get less tired. You just stop realizing it, which sucks, because it doesn't help.
Only about 5 minutes.
Yeah?
I got back to the control room, and I immediately noticed that one of the camera feeds had been knocked out on one of the screens.
What do you mean?
It was the camera feed to the back part of the parking lot that the window overlooked. I went over to the window and looked out the blinds in the direction of the camera.
No.
I spotted it dangling in the wind from its wires from the post that it was on. I figured the heavy winds must have knocked it off somehow.
No, it ain't your job.
I sat back at my desk and put in my report for the night, and then went back to what I was originally doing. A few minutes had passed while I was watching a movie on my phone, and I heard the alert sound the system gives when someone is accessing a part of the building that requires a code to be entered on a keypad. I looked at the main screen and pulled up the tab that shows the access points of the building.
Yeah.
It showed me the one being accessed was the one in the back of the building by the back parking lot.
Somebody
At that point, a shiver ran down my spine as I realized someone was outside.
You have a gun.
From the shadow figure to the camera being knocked out, and now to this, the keypad being accessed.
Somebody blinking
Whoever it was had the code because they got in, and the system showed me the green light.
Shit.
I thought to myself, it couldn't be another worker or security guard.
Inside man.
If it was a worker, we would have a memo telling us who it was and what times they would be here, as well as what part of the building they would be in. I knew it wasn't a security guard because I would have known about that too. I picked up the phone that was on my desk in an attempt to call the cops.
What?
It was out. I looked at my phone.
What do you mean you're done told to talk? You are meant to be a top, kinda. If every place could just told the police, then you're not really a security guard. You're more an observer guy. Oh, this guy's doing a bad thing. I'm gonna call the top. How are the cops gonna get in? There's a fence. There's a large barbed wire fence. So unless they're gonna cut open the fence to get in and shit, what? How is it gonna work, man? You can't do that. No, what? You would have to get them in. And at that point, don't you have a gun? Can't you handle it? This is also a government building. You would think that the security guards they hire would be kind of trained police officers, kind of.
And of course, no service.
Good, handle it yourself.
I figured the best thing to do would be to try to walk around the hallway and try to get service on my phone.
Don't you just hold the
out of the
police and be a
control room
pussy?
and into the hallway. I started walking down the hallway toward the service stairwell while looking at my phone, hoping to get a signal soon.
Do you have your gun?
Just then, as I was looking down at my phone, the power was shut off.
Damn!
I immediately decided, since I was so close to the stairs, that I was going to run down the stairs to the front lobby and run out the door to my truck.
What? And do what?
And opened it up. It was damn near pitch black in there. I decided to use the darkness to my advantage and walk quietly down the steps. I figured if this person cut the power, they had to be in the generator room, which was in the basement.
Are you there, them?
Unfortunately, the basement was the only flight of steps below the lobby where I was headed. Also, the generator was not too far away from the stairwell that I was in. I made it down to the 4th floor, and suddenly I heard a door open at the bottom of the stairwell.
Ooh, you better
I stopped dead in my tracks. At this point, I knew I was armed.
Yes.
But I was thinking to myself, even though I went through training, I don't think I was ready to shoot anyone.
You don't have to.
I was hoping and praying that it wouldn't come to that.
You don't have to kill them.
As I was standing there, immersed in my thoughts about my training with my firearm,
Yes.
I started hearing heavy footsteps walking up the stairs.
Just hit them.
I wasted no time in coming up with a new plan.
What?
I was going to turn around and walk as quickly and quietly back up the steps as possible to the 6th floor where I came from.
And do what?
At the top of the steps, a few feet past the door, still in the stairwell, there's a ladder that leads up to the hatch that leads to the roof of the building.
Yeah.
I was going to climb up the ladder to the top just before you have to open the hatch to go any further. And just hide in there in the pitch black darkness until whatever happens next.
What do you mean what happened next?
Just as I did, my gun banged against the metal to the stairwell railing, making a loud clang sound. As that happened, I froze, and so did the heavy footsteps. A few seconds had gone by, and then I heard whoever it was running as fast as they could up the steps.
Oh shit,
I sprang as fast as I could, running up the steps as if my life depended on it. As I got to the top of the steps, just before I was about to pass the door I had come from, I had an idea to create a diversion on the fly. I quickly opened up the door hard and loud, then let go of the handle and let it close and slam on its own.
Damn.
I continued to run to the ladder and climb up it. By doing that, I would make it appear that I had run out the door. With only seconds to spare, I made it up the ladder. The man, distracted by the door tactic, opened it without even looking in my direction. He ran into the hall, the heavy door closing behind him. That's when I saw my chance.
What?
I leapt down from the ladder, only about 10 feet high, landing with a loud thud as my feet hit the floor.
Bad idea.
I bolted for the stairs. The man must have heard the sound, because I had barely made it down one flight before I heard the door open again.
Wow.
His footsteps pounding down after me. Both of us were sprinting as fast as we could.
What? So your plan was shitty.
Floor ahead of him the entire way.
The whole point of the plan was that he would check the hallway while you were able to run away or something. But then you had to jump down from the stairs. You couldn't even just go down it. Or did the stairs did the ladder not touch the stairs? Even if it didn't, all you have to do is put your feet on the lower part and just slowly go this way, like this. What? No. Why would you make a loud noise? Why? Come on.
I reached the lobby. Luck was suddenly on my side.
What?
Behind me, I heard a loud crashing noise followed by a cry of pain.
Damn.
I wasn't certain, but I think the man had tripped and fallen on the stairs.
Duh.
I wasn't about to wait around to confirm.
Oh my God.
I burst through the door, ran straight for the entrance, and used my key to unlock it. Fortunately, I always parked my truck close by. With the wind howling and the rain pouring down, I hit the fob to start the engine and unlock the doors as I sprinted across the lot. I jumped into the truck, threw it in reverse.
What about the date?
Just then caught sight of him. Dressed all in black, his face covered by a mask and hood, bursting out of the building and charging toward my car.
Why?
I slammed the gear into drive and floored it, tires screeching as I tore out of the lot and onto the side road. It wasn't until I was nearly at the main road that I got a signal on my phone. I immediately called the police.
To do what?
They arrived about 15 minutes later, and I followed them back to the building.
Okay.
I told them everything, filling out reports for both them and my company.
You're not gonna dead anything.
We searched the entire building and surrounding area, but
she's not gonna
nothing.
be there.
The scariest part came when they checked the stairwell.
What? Blood?
Apparently, when the man had fallen, he dropped something.
A knife?
The police recovered a fully loaded, unregistered, semi-automatic handgun.
Oh, wow. He was ready to use
that. No one knows why someone would have broken into that building. There was nothing particularly special about it, except that it was government property. Whatever the case, I'm just thankful that luck was on my side that night.
Well, let's be honest, there was something important about that building. Also, Yacht was not on your side. Yacht was on your side because you had a firearm, and you I don't know, you knew the building better, probably. That's why Yacht was on your side. Also, of course there was something important about it. That was not random. That man, he knew the code. It was government property. It's in the woods. It has a date. I'm not saying that there was some sort of super bomb inside or some sort of Area 51 type shit in there. But there was probably something important. Some sort of data area or I don't know, maybe there was a valuable room. But the guy knew the code. He broke in and he didn't want you to get away from him. So obviously whatever was in there was important enough to break the law to get it. And he brought a weapon too. So no, there was something special about that building. I don't know what it is, but it was important. Other than that, I would have to say, this guy, not good security guard. He automatically thinks to call the police, even though I thought the point of a security guard was to kind of be the police officer for the place. Okay, I'm not saying they are police officers, but effectively, that's kind of what their role is. The whole point of them. You had a weapon too, so I guess your point is that the police are better trained. But still, come on, man. Really? You're that much of a pussy? You're dark than that one at least. Oh, and I'm giving this guy a rating of 4. No, wait. 3 out of 5. He's okay. He had a gun. He had training. He didn't use any of it.
Government property. Whatever the case, I'm just thankful that luck was on my side that night.
I might have to cut this video into 2, but here, Shidori number 2. Anonymous as well.
I used to work nights as a security guard in a medium-sized corporate office building in New Jersey.
Okay.
And for the most part, the nights were boring, quiet, and uneventful.
Which is why what happened
one night has stuck with me so vividly for years.
Damn.
It started around midnight.
Yeah?
After the last employees had left the building, and the lobby was empty except for me.
Yeah.
Just me and the glow of the security monitors. My job was simple.
What?
Check cameras, make a couple of patrol rounds, log any incidents,
kind of be a
mostly
police
just
officer.
sit and watch for anything unusual. That night, I was going through my usual routine, scanning the screens for the elevators, the hallways, and the underground parking garage.
Yeah?
And I noticed a figure moving between the cars on the lower garage feed, which immediately caught my attention because the lot should have been completely empty at this hour. Only people with 24-hour access could get in, and I knew no one had it at that moment. At first, I thought it might have been one of the late shift IT guys, or maybe a cleaning crew member. But it didn't make sense, since cleaning crews had left hours before, and the guy wasn't carrying any equipment or wearing a uniform.
Damn.
He was wearing a long, dark coat that looked a little oversized.
Yeah.
He wasn't heading to any particular car or toward the exit.
What
he just moved slowly, weaving around the rows like he was inspecting the area, or making sure no one was around. And something about the way he moved gave me the chills.
What?
I couldn't put my finger on it, but it was off.
Oh, no.
I called the supervisor and explained what I was seeing, and he told me to stay at my post and keep an eye on the cameras, which I did. but my gut told me I needed to check it in person.
Yeah.
So I grabbed my flashlight and headed down to the garage. The elevator ride was long, slow, and every floor that passed seemed to echo in the shaft,
okay, this
making
guy
me
is
more on edge
more
than I cared to admit. When the doors opened on the garage level, I scanned the lot with my flashlight, and it was empty. Completely quiet.
Yeah.
The kind of quiet that presses against your ears and makes every little creak of the building sound huge. I called out, "Hello, security here," but the echo returned empty, and I didn't hear any reply.
Ooh, okay, well
I
now
walked
you should be
slowly
worried.
down the rows of cars, shining the light into every dark corner, every space between vehicles.
Okay.
But there was nothing there. Not a single shadow, not a single person.
Okay.
My pulse was racing, and I started to doubt myself, thinking maybe the camera was malfunctioning, or maybe it had picked up a shadow that wasn't really there.
Okay.
So
I don't
went
think
back
that's
upstairs
possible.
to the lobby, trying to shake it off. But as soon as I sat back down and looked at the
You saw
garage feed
him?
again, there he was, standing in the exact same spot,
Did
as
you
if he
see
hadn't
him?
moved since I'd been there. And now my stomach dropped.
What?
Because I knew I had just been there, and there was no way he could have gotten back into the same spot unnoticed unless he had been watching me, or worse, waiting for me. I radioed my supervisor again, telling him I was going to keep watching the cameras, and he told me not to approach him unless absolutely necessary.
I mean, I guess that
which
makes
was easier
sense.
said than done because I couldn't stop staring at him, and my mind was already running through every possible scenario.
What are
For the
they?
next 20 minutes, I watched him wander slowly toward the stairwell that led to the upper floors. He moved carefully, pausing, looking over his shoulder like he was checking for someone, and then disappeared from the camera just before reaching the door, which made my stomach knot. I checked every other feed, hallways, elevator lobbies, even the rooftop access, and there was nothing. No trace of him at all, which only made me feel worse because it was impossible for him to vanish that fast, and it gave me the sinking feeling that he had access to the building somehow, or he was hiding in a way that I couldn't see.
Yeah, maybe.
I stayed at my desk, heart pounding, until the elevator dinged and opened in the lobby. Nobody was inside, but on the polished floor, I noticed wet footprints leading from the elevator out into the main lobby. Bare feet, which was wrong on so many levels because it was freezing outside, and he would have had to take his shoes off just to wander barefoot. I froze in my tracks, realizing that if he was inside the building now, he could be anywhere, and every unlocked office or storage room was a potential hiding spot.
Yeah, what are you gonna do now?
I called the local off-site patrol for backup and debated locking myself in the lobby. But something in me told me I needed to do a patrol and confirm the potential hiding spot. I called the...
Okay, now, he said local off-site patrol. I'm sorry, okay, now what is that? Is that just, like, the police officers? Or is that, like, a special thing made just for this type of situation? The fact that he didn't say police officers makes me slightly happy because, like, maybe they are also security guards for this place. It says off-site, as if the opposite would be on-site, which means they're likely a part of the same business, kind of. Maybe. But yeah, no. I think this guy is slightly better than the first guy. Because, like, he actually seemed to have, like, the mindset of a good security guard. Something weird is happening in this building that my job is to secure and guard. So he feels like he needs to do a patrol just to be safe. Because that's his job. A part of his job is to secure and guard the building. And now he's gonna do it. I like that. It's initiative.
Local off-site patrol for backup and debated locking myself in the lobby. But something in me told me I needed to do a patrol and confirm the situation, which in retrospect was probably a mistake.
Maybe.
I took the elevator to the 5th floor and started walking the hallway slowly, flashlight in hand, scanning every office door, checking for movement. Every creak of the building made me jump.
Yeah.
Halfway down the hall, I saw one of the office doors slightly ajar, which shouldn't have been possible because it was always locked at night. I pushed it open with my flashlight, peering inside, but the room was empty, except for a sleeping computer monitor and a chair pushed in under the desk.
Oh, you didn't check under the desk.
I stepped out into the hall again and froze because I heard the sound of footsteps on the tile behind me. Not mine.
Behind
Heavy,
you?
wet, and uneven, moving fast towards me.
Turn around!
My heart leapt into my throat,
Turn
and I
around.
swung my flashlight around the
Hit
hall,
him.
catching a glimpse of the dark coat at the end of the hallway. He wasn't running, but he was walking fast with a purpose.
Walking
and it hit
fast.
me that he had been following me the entire time, hiding just out of sight whenever I checked the cameras.
Damn.
I bolted, sprinting down the hall toward the stairwell,
tried.
barely noticing the handrail slamming against my arm as I rushed past. The footsteps followed, close enough that I could hear them clearly now, echoing in the hall. And I realized I had no idea how he had gotten inside.
Yeah.
No idea what he wanted.
Yeah.
And the panic was almost suffocating.
Probably,
I dove into the stairwell, sliding down a few steps, and slammed the door behind me as the footsteps thundered on the floor above. Then they stopped abruptly, and I sat there shaking for several minutes, trying to catch my breath and convincing myself I had imagined it.
Imagine
the sound of my own breathing and the echo of those steps made me feel insane.
Yeah.
When the patrol finally arrived, I was pale, sweaty, and trembling.
Okay. Not the
We walked the building together, floor by floor, room by room, and the garage was completely empty. No sign of the intruder, no footprints, nothing.
Shit.
And when we checked the cameras, the footage from the time he appeared had been overridden or corrupted, leaving a gap in the recording that made my skin crawl even more.
No, that clue.
I quit that job within a month, partly because of the fear, and partly because I couldn't handle walking the hallways alone anymore.
Damn.
Especially when the garage was empty and the wind outside made the building creak, because every shadow and every noise reminded me of him walking behind me, just out of sight, waiting. Even years later, I get anxious in parking garages or office buildings at night, and I still check over my shoulder more than I should, thinking I might see that long coat rounding a corner, hearing those wet footsteps behind me again. And I know that what I experienced wasn't supernatural.
Yeah.
It wasn't a faceless ghost or a phantom.
It was a person.
It was a real person. A stalker.
Yeah.
And the thought that he had been inside that building following me, hiding just out of view, and that I might never know how he got in or what he wanted, is something that still haunts me every time I think about that night.
Okay. I think I will have to cut story number 3 into its own video. But I would just like to rate the two tops, or the two security guards. Okay, so the first one, I am going to rate the first one as a 3. He was okay. He wasn't that good because, like, I don't know, he was kind of like a pussy, kinda. Yeah, he had a gun, which is something that this guy didn't have, but, like, I don't know, there was something about that one that just felt a little less good security guard. Even though he has, like, a weapon, which I don't think that this one even had. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I have to give the other one a bit of props for that. But anyway, this one, I would have to rate him, a 3.4. A 3.4. Slightly better, just because he had a better mindset. Okay, guys, I hope to see you back here for story number 3. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!